Earlier this year, the car maker Nissan announced a major expansion of electric vehicle production at its car plant in Sunderland. The development will see the creation of more than 1,500 jobs at the site and several thousand more in the supply chain. Most of these will facilitate the manufacture of the company's new generation all-electric model at the site. Alongside this, partner company Envision AESC will build a new electric battery plant, which it believes will produce enough batteries to power over 100,000 Nissan electric vehicles each year. Nissan hopes the site will be operational by 2024, when the level of UK-made components in cars manufactured in the UK is required to start increasing, in line with the terms of the UK's trade deal with the EU. The development has already received billions of pounds worth of funding, with the government thought to have contributed tens of millions of pounds towards the cost. Well, today, transport is the focus of the COP26 Climate Change Conference in Glasgow, so we're checking in with the expansion project in Sunderland. Our transport correspondent Caroline Davies is there, and we can join her now. Caroline.
Well, hello from Sunderland, and for the last time today it felt appropriate to be right at the end of the line. These are the finished car batteries. They are fully charged up and they are ready to go from here, just across the road, over to the Nissan plant where they will be installed in the cars. You can see that these were finished on the 8th of November. We know that it takes 35 days to produce each one of these batteries. But we've spoken a lot today about electricity and the use of electricity in transport. Of course, that's not the only way of being able to make our climate greener and being able to tackle the transport challenge as well. And in fact, the best person to speak to about this I have right with me here. This is Professor Blythe, who is the Professor of Transport at Newcastle University, but you were also previously the Chief Scientific Advisor at the Department for Transport. So I guess first question, is electricity the answer?
I think it's part of the answer. Certainly we've seen battery electric vehicles, cars and small vans, works really, really well. The question is, will it work for much larger vehicles and need an awful lot of batteries and maybe have longer distances to travel? So I think we've got to look at a blended solution here, and I think hydrogen clearly has a role to play. We've heard it mentioned a lot at COP. I think for larger vehicles, buses, lorries, off-road vehicles, some trains, maritime, and even some aircraft, I think hydrogen can have a role to play. And if hydrogen is going to be used in the UK for other sectors such as domestic heating and cooking and for large industrial processes, we could have a really successful hydrogen economy to support...
Sorry, the perils of doing live broadcasts inside the batteries.
Yeah.
Yes, sorry.
So I think electric is really, really important. I think we've gone a long way in the announcements on the investments, and the great things happening in the northeast with the battery factories, with the electric drives, with Nissan, all show that we can deliver quite a lot on electric, but we need to think of other things as well. I think hydrogen is one way. Some of the announcements made on sustainable aviation fuels, great. Some really good innovation for the UK there as well.
Now, we've talked a lot about things that you can replace. The government have said that actually we don't necessarily need to change the things that we're doing. We might still be able to fly, we'll still be able to commute, we'll still be able to go and visit our family and friends. Do you think that that's accurate, or do you think that we're going to have to change our behaviour, the way that we use all of these transport infrastructure as well?
I think the conversation hasn't gone on to yet the actual scale of the transition needed to take our country and other countries to net zero. It's absolutely massive. I believe technology can help deliver that, but it's not the whole solution. As you say, the societal change, behavioural change, thinking about using things, being more sustainable, I think is critically important, and we're not really seeing that being discussed. And when we think what we can do in the UK, we have an advantage. We're quite a technology advanced country, and we can throw money at it. What about all these other countries around the world which are less well off? How are we going to help those transition with the same problems as us, and the fact that everybody wants to own a car, everybody wants to travel? How do we deliver that for them sustainably at a reasonable cost?
You have, until very recently, been inside government and in the heart of government. Do you think that they've got handle? Are they doing the right things at the moment to make this transition? Do you think that they're going to be able to achieve everything that they're talking about?
I think broadly they're doing the right things, they're looking at the right things. I think some of the decisions on picking winners on technology and energy vectors, they need to do more quickly, so the industry has the confidence to invest and maybe make the next generation of electrolyzers for hydrogen or the next generation of batteries for EVs, etc. But I think there's lots of plans there, but as I say, that scale of the transition, that to change everything to be net zero, is absolutely massive, and we need to think about joining government up so they make joined up decisions about this, but we also need to make sure that the societal challenges, getting people to think about doing things differently, understand why they should need to do some things differently and make more sustainable decisions is critically important.
And a very quick yes or no short question. Are you feeling optimistic about the scale of this challenge and whether governments around the world are going to be able to come together to be able to sort this?
There's been some great things announced, but I still don't think it goes far enough. I think getting people to do things at the national scale, but empowering local authorities to do things at that local scale, because they know the problems there, and place-based solutions are really, really important. So there's a way to go, it's a starting point, but they can't give up on that end point, that long point.
Thank you very much. Great to speak to you, Professor. And we, of course, know that we will be hearing from the Prime Minister at COP26 very shortly.